what can you do to get really fluffy cakes? You know when you have the cake like this and somehow it's not springing up and down, something is wrong somewhere, right? We want something fluffy. So that's the number one thing that you need to do, is to cream that butter and sugar properly. Let's say your recipe calls for using butter and sugar. It's not an oil recipe, it's a butter based recipe, so you need to really cream it properly. Cream that butter and sugar. You know, when you put the butter into the bowl, the mixing bowl, it's a bit yellow, right? So you want to cream it till it's a bit pale. It's pale white, okay? Not like the background that I have. This is white, but we want pale white, okay? We want it to easily fall from the hook, the hand mixer, the hook, you know, that hook. Yeah? You want it to easily fall. For it to easily fall from the wooden spoon, then you know that you're on track. So that's one thing you need to do to have a fluffy cake. Number two thing is, I don't know, I feel like for some reason, some people feel like when you put, the more liquid you put, the fluffier the cake is, but that's wrong. That's a misconception. The more liquid you put, most especially if you over put liquid in the cake, so your recipe calls for 2 cups of milk and you're putting 4 cups, you have just flooded the cake. The cake is going to come out looking dense. It's not going to be fluffy. It's going to look like it's going to be chewy. It's going to be gummy. I don't even know. It's just something. It's just going to be not right anyway. So also something else that you need to do if you need to get a very fluffy cake is, don't over mix your cake batter. Guys, don't over mix your cake batter. Okay, I mean, what happens is that when you put on the flour, that's what we'll tell you, just fold in, just gently fold in. Don't over mix it. When you over mix it, what happens? The gluten, okay, is on the floor. You release that gluten. We don't want that gluten being released, guys. It's released on the floor into the butter, and you have mixed it all in. So when you bake that cake, you end up having something dense. We don't want that. So just fold in the flour, fold it in gradually till you cannot see any trace of flour anymore. Then you know that you're good to go, okay? Then you know that you're good to go. So while you are listening to me, you need to subscribe. You need to, how do they say it? You need to subscribe. You need to like. I'm new to this thing. Just do what you need to do here, please, and follow me. We need the subscribers to increase. So more things, more tips, guys, is if you want to get a very fluffy cake, is learn to sift your dry ingredients. Learn to sift your dry ingredients. Don't skip that part. See, the essence of sifting your dry ingredients is not just to take away unwanted stuffs, you know, the dirt and all that you might see in your flour or your baking soda, baking powder. No, it's not just for that. That is relevant, but it's not just for that. Another reason why is because the process of sieving allows air, because we're talking about air right now. You know, I talked about air being trapped in your butter and your sugar when you're creaming. So now you also want air to pass through that flow. So when you are sieving it, look at me demonstrating. When you're sieving it, guys, you have air being trapped in. Sometimes you can even sieve 1, 2, 3 times. This one, the more times you sieve, the more air is trapped into that cake. So when you bake it, when you just mix it and put it straight into the oven, it starts baking and rising, and it gets fluffy very fast, okay? So another thing that you need to do is, if you can get cake flour as against all-purpose flour, I would tell you to do that. If you cannot buy it, you can easily make it. Look, that's why you need to be following me, because I'm going to be giving lots of tip hacks that you don't even know yet. If you want to make your cake flour, what do? Get your regular all-purpose flour. Let's say to every 1 cup of all-purpose flour, listen please attentively, okay? This is a class. Every cup of all-purpose flour rather, take away 2 tablespoons of that all-purpose flour. Keep it aside. Okay, now bring your corn flour. I said corn flour, bring it and add 2 tablespoons of that corn flour into that all-purpose flour. Take away 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, add in 2 tablespoons of corn flour, mix it all together. Now that cup now is now your what? Cake flour. Okay, so if you can do that for every cake that you need to, trust me, you're going to be able to tell the difference. Just try it. Try it someday. You'll be able to tell the difference. And of course, I cannot even go on without talking about this. Try to use fresh ingredients, guys, most especially fresh leavening ingredients, because if your leavening ingredient, which is your baking soda or your baking powder, we know what they're, right? That's what causes your cake batter to rise. If it's not fresh, if it's probably expired, if it's probably bad, it's not going to work. Your cake will not be fluffy. Your cake will be flat. You don't want that, okay? So also try not to open your oven too early. Sometimes I don't know what we are looking for inside that oven. Is there something you're looking for there? Just leave the cake. The recipe calls for 45 minutes of baking time. You find some people opening the oven at 10 minutes. kept something in there besides cake. Is your money my money missing? I'm sorry guys, you know, sometimes I just like to play around, but hey, please just leave that oven closed, leave it shut. You know, like I said, the recipe calls for 45 minutes. If you can open the oven at 35 minutes, I think it's safe to do that, but try not to open it too much because we want it to bake. You don't want your cake, you know, let me tell you what's going to happen. When you open your oven too early, your cake is going to rise, and then when you open it, it's going to collapse. That's why at times you feel like, this cake was looking good and fine. What happened? Why did it look like it collapsed? And that's what you did that. You kept opening it, and that's what happened.